Daredevil. That was a
It is a film. Technically speaking, it is a film because there's audio, there's some moving pictures, and there's technically speaking a story. Bada bing, bada boom. Technically speaking, it's.
But is it a movie according to Martin Scorsese?
Honestly, I think that this film is ironically the best thing ever. I would actually rank it. I would rank it higher than Citizen Kane. I would much rather watch this.
I mean, I had always heard that Daredevil was terrible film, so I just didn't expect anything from it. But when I watched this, I was pleasantly surprised because how amazingly terrible it was.
Like, I mean, it's not a good film. Do not go into this film expecting something like The Dark Knight or. It's just look. Usually, when films, they have a cut. When they're making the film, they pick between different cuts or whatever else, and usually, there's a right and a wrong decision. It's fair to say. Sometimes when they mess up, you can tell they've made the wrong choice. This film just does all the choices, and that's the only way to describe the film. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. I think. Okay, we gotta get one of the highlight, like just the absolute highlight of the film out of the way.
Oh, I put the
Colin
playground.
Farrell.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
We'll get back to the playground in a minute.
Yeah, but Bullseye was
Bullseye.
He was something else. He was like the most stereotypical.
He's just a delight to watch because he's a really good actor, just not giving a shit. Okay.
No. I feel like his character was just evil for evil's sakes in this movie, but he totally owned and had a lot of fun being evil for the.
Look, there was just so much. Like he was just the most, it was just oozing with some kind of.
I mean, it was something.
Like the best way to kind of describe it is. Okay, so obviously we recently talked about, like Batman, the 1966 movie. Now imagine all the, the stupidity from that.
But these guys don't realize.
Imagine that in one character that it shouldn't really belong in. Now imagine that in a whole film. Except edgy.
Did you get a masterpiece like this movie? I mean, whenever they come up with a decision, it's like there's the logical option, or we'll go with the most stupid and ridiculous solution possible, and the film takes that corner every single time.
Yeah, but then it's weird because I feel like sometimes it just kind of feels like it's such a mishmash, but like in terms of like, the tones, it doesn't really know if it wants to be dark and edgy, or if it wants to be,
I think comedic and camp. It's like a weird mix.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it kind of tries to jumble everything. That's what I mean by it kind of has, like, it has those two decisions here, the right and the wrong, and it kind of just tries to do both.
I think this movie just isn't sure what it wants to be. It doesn't want it to be the serious, gritty superhero film that really the marketing made the film out to be. When you look at the poster, he's all dark and standing over buildings.
Yeah, but then you look at some other parts of the film, and it's just like,
So it's like does this film want to be Batman or Robin, or does it want to be The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of people were like, I don't want Ben Affleck as Batman when they saw this movie.
Look, I think everyone was kind of expecting this version of Matt Murdock as, being essentially what was going to happen in BVS. And obviously he smashed it as Batman. He's still, I reckon, the best Batman that could have been, because obviously the materials had to work with this shit, but at least he kind of stood out. No one acted well. As well. He was Kingpin, and it was just the biggest waste.
He was, and I feel like Kingpin was just a stereotype. This film was a cliche of a cliche of a cliche with its characters.
Yeah, exactly.
This wasn't. It's like he's just like a big bad business guy who hires bad people. And is correct.
Yeah.
There's not much more to his characters. Like he's even twirling the cane and has a cigar. It's like a comedic characteristic of a bad guy.
And the thing that pisses me off too is like Michael Clarke Duncan was is easily one of my favorite, actors who, ever lived. And then in this film, it's just like
he's just wasted.
It just hurts because I think it's a mixture of miscasting, but I think he could also have done a really good job if it was just a completely
I
different
think
take.
he could have done a good job. He's a very good actor. So if
Yeah.
he had a good script, and he could have really owned this performance.
Yeah, exactly. But then they just decided, hey,
let's make him a caricature of a caricature. I mean, the chemistry between Affleck and Elektra in this film is very it's a weird relationship.
Yeah, because didn't they actually like get together? Because I knew they were together.
Yeah, they got together in real life, but in this movie,
I'm not sure if it's because of this, because the chemistry is I mean, I've seen worse chemistry, but it's certainly nothing, like electric or anything.
It's not Elektra.
That's the. I heard it and I'm like, I realized the mistake I've done.
I mean, it's a very one-dimensional performance from pretty much all the actors, and I feel like Garner, she's a very capable actress. She was completely wasted in this film. And when they were trying to hype up,
she was meant to look pretty and then die. That's it. And I don't mind spoiling this movie because it's a shit
yeah. This
show.
is a film you don't go to watch unless you've got a few beers around and you want to watch a film for a piss up.
I was actually watching this, with my girlfriend, and I literally had to take a break during the film. I actually said, "Sorry, babe, I need 5 minutes."
Oh, I felt like actually did that. I had to take a pause for like 5 minutes and just like, I need to breathe. This film is too ridiculous. Like,
which part did you freeze at?
I think it was just after the playground fight, which is the most. I think I was messaging you at the time. I'm like, what the fuck is this fight?
Yeah. I think it was the part where I actually took a break was there's this part in the film around the time where Daredevil he's fighting Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah, I think
his bullseye, but and there's one part where it's just a dumb scene because you have Bullseye being played by Colin Farrell, which is just an absolute joy to watch on its own, but it just doesn't mesh with anything else, and it sticks out, and you laugh at it, but it takes a lot. It just takes a lot from you.
I mean, the whole editing of this film was just very jarring, even when they were trying to go cut from a normal scene to where his vision or his hearing thing.
Yeah. So definitely talking about the editing. This film is just like the editing was just ridiculous.
And the pacing all together is just off and doesn't feel like it flows naturally.
Yeah, look, the pacing is there's just no pace.
No,
it's non-existent.
It decides to go from this thing to another thing.
Yeah, it kind of just seems like a whole bunch of short stories, almost trying to be linked up together, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure that's the right way to describe it. What would you?
It's like a whole bunch of things that are going on, but just merged together for some weird mishmash of a film.
Yeah. You kind of go, and then there's some other cuts as well where Matt Murdock Daredevil is being he's trying to be a superhero, but the cuts actually show him fail. And there's one part in particular, it's literally the next cut where something blows up. I think Deadshot grabs one of Daredevil's baton things, a Screamer 6, sorry. He throws it, a car explodes, Daredevil's jumping, and then the next shot, that car that it just exploded.
Oh yeah, but I know the scene.
It didn't explode, and it stood out to me so much. And just something about it was just, I literally had to pause then. Notice something it's big and I can't unsee it. And it hit me the wrong way, and I was like, no, I need a minute. So
Kevin Feige produced this film as well. So to know that he would go on. Yeah, I saw it in the opening credits. Kevin Feige, co-producer. I'm like,
I saw that, but are you sure though?
Yeah, it's just to think this guy who will go on to produce the whole MCU. How the fuck did he get from that?
I feel like he just dipped his toes into, and then he realized that he dipped into a piranha tank or something like that. And then you realize, okay, maybe it's smart if I do literally everything else. And that's how the MCU came about. That was probably it.
They haven't touched him in the MCU at all. It's just like, we'll try and forget that whole Daredevil thing ever happened. Yeah. What else is there to discuss about this movie? I mean, the soundtrack itself is really jarring. A lot of it just does not fit with the sequences.
The fact that there's 2 Evanescence songs made me laugh, and they're back to back as well.
Yeah, they're 2000s pop songs that do not work in the context of this film that you're trying to go. The tone is just completely off.
It's so jarring. It's hilarious. Once you get to wake me up, like it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
I would imagine that in some, I don't know, some rom-com kind of film, those kind of songs would work, but in a superhero film like Daredevil, wake me up.
The entire film is just a swing and a miss. Okay, that's all it is.
It's a home run on stupidity.
No, but like they got that home run from like swinging, missing, then I don't know, hitting its head with it or something. I don't know. I mean,
no, the ball just hit them in the head and they collapsed, and that's Daredevil.
Yeah. So just to go back on like the editing thing from 5 minutes ago or whatever it's been. I mean, but there's just so many quirks. Obviously, the editing and the pacing is all off. And then but there's just a couple of little things that just don't make sense. Like, again, going back to the best character in the film, Bullseye, he has rattlesnakes in his jacket.
The rattlesnake. The sound effect for that is whenever he puts his coat on, it's just why?
Literally, just like
again,
it's so bizarre. He should be in Batman and Robin. He should be in Batman and Robin.
Again, it goes back to that thing where I was saying where I feel like they just made him bad for the sake of being bad, so let's give him a snake noise.
He's just not giving a shit throughout this whole film. He's having the time of his life.
He's just like, this is a paycheck and I'm here to have fun. I don't give a shit.
That's just my favorite part of any, like, I mean, if there's like a bad film, there's always like at least one good actor just like not caring. And that is just the best thing to ever, like, just to see. What's another thing I was going to say as well? But that kind of links into another point that I wanted to bring up in regards to like the music and the sound and everything else, and how everything's been edited. Is you would think a film about a blind guy and how he has like supernatural ability, hearing or whatever else. You think that they would have some interesting sound effects. And again, the most interesting one is the rattlesnakes in the jacket, and that's literally.
That was stupid.
Yeah, everything just sounds like discount Matrix, and I guess and everything's just kind of bumped up a little bit, but not quite. And it's just there's no real. You have to kind of watch it to see for yourself.
I feel like they also wasted that power quite a bit in the film. It's only really used when he's trying to see if someone's lying or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if it's
I know.
One of the comics.
Yeah. So I mean, you'll hear when someone's lying, and he's in a courtroom. He's a human lie detector, and he still can't win cases.
The pacemaker thing was stupid. It was just like a cheap plot excuse.
The thing was dumb. But I think in general, just even at the beginning of the film, that was. It's so jarring. The whole film is just jarring.
On the pacemaker thing, I feel like you could have explained that much better if you had the cop just say he had learned how to control his heartbeat during moments of questioning, because he was a cop, so he knows how people cheat lie detectors.
Yeah,
so I would use that.
That'd be a lot better. That's just that is the biggest cop out. They probably didn't think, there's literally no way to outsmart. And I think, although that might have been a little bit of a stretch, I think it wouldn't have been as much of a stretch as, he has a pacemaker.
Yeah, that's just cheap plot armor. Oh, yeah, he has a pacemaker, by the way. Doesn't it?
You just brush it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His character overall, it just makes him kind of seem weak. His power's kind of not that useful if he can't get through a pacemaker.
Yeah, and then not only that, he has another, four other, he has another 3 other senses aside from hearing that should be bumped up. Why is it just his hearing?
Yeah, that's all we ever see. We don't see him take advantage of scent. his sense of smell or touch or any of those other things. It's just his hearing. Like watching this film, I saw potential for a really good movie inside of this. It was a complete waste of a film. There's a lot of interesting arcs which you could take it to and interesting plot lines, but instead they don't explore any of those. And they go down the stupid, illogical ones that don't make any sense. That just make the whole film ridiculous.
It's kind of like the mix, like some parts of I'd say like Batman Returns and then Batman and Robin. If we had to cut, like,
it's just a great whole of illogicalness.
Look, if you go into it expecting it, like you can very easily laugh at this film.
Yeah, that's the thing you can take away from this. It's not a bad film which will leave you dry and bored. It's a bad film which you can go and watch and laugh at the stupid moments.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you will love this film, and I kind of did as well. Like, when you go into it knowing the dumb stuff, and you're just gonna have the time of your life laughing at it.
It's so bad it's a good film.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you could even make a similar argument with let's say the Sam Raimi, Spider-Man trilogy, and I know that that's going to trigger some people. But I mean, those films have not aged well.
Yeah, they're very cheesy and very corny.
But it's part of the charm, and it's kind of going for that. This film, it doesn't know it's going for it, I guess.
I think I'd relate Raimi's Spider-Man better to Adam West's Batman. It's very cheesy and corny, and that's what you can get out of those films.
Yeah.
You enjoy it for the charm of it.
Yeah, but at least, the filmmaking in those films, although it's aged terribly, at least it's competent.
Yeah. Well, these films, they don't know what they are. They're just trying to be a weird mixed bag of seriousness versus goofiness. It's trying.
Yeah, and it doesn't know what it wants to be.
It doesn't know if it wants to be Burton's Batman or Joel Schumacher's Batman.
Yeah. What was I
also didn't think the costume design was that great.
No, look, I think Daredevil looked.
This was okay, but
yeah,
Elektra's was very bland.
Yeah, was so generic. So this film.
I mean, it's a film with character. It's just the stupidest. I mean,
it's got character, all right. It's something special. That's all we can really say, because I don't really want to, like, I've already sworn so much, I don't really want to swear anymore. But this film, my goodness.
Another thing I'd like to say before we end this is the opening of the film with Ben Affleck's narration was just the most blandest and boringest way to talk about his backstory and what happened to him. It sounded like he had no interest in him at all.
Yeah, I think they took that as inspiration from the Sam Raimi movies.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think it works more with depending on who the character is.
Yeah.
If, like, the Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he's got more of a charm to his voice than Ben Affleck does.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they just saw that film, was like, oh yeah, there's narration. It's a good film, like, it made lots of money. We'll do the same thing. Then we make money, right?
Yeah.
No.
The flower thing I thought was a bit odd. Dumping a flower when they died. I'm not sure if that's something he does in the comics.
But what was that, sorry?
When Bullseye kills someone, he leaves a flower on their body.
Yeah, I don't look. I mean, I'm not really super into the comics. I kind of like. I mean, I'll hear like the occasional thing here and there, but I'm not a huge comic book buff. But I think that was quite bizarre, especially because he rubbed it on his forehead where he has an imprinted bullseye. And then, God,
It's
I'm actually struggling to talk about it. Oh,
yeah.
so many face palms.
This movie is a face palm
yeah,
of a film.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing that in the Netflix series as well. So
He did in the Netflix series.
I don't remember him doing anything like that in the Netflix series where he had like a rose and he just like, you know, rubs his forehead and does it. Like he didn't do any of that.
Okay, so it seems like
it
seems like something dumb the movie tried to implement, and they tried to, because it did seem like the film was trying to make the rose symbolize a significant symbol, symbolize something, but it just came off as dumb.
I don't actually know what that thing was meant to symbolize. To be honest, like can you think of anything?
No, but I'm sure it's meant to symbolize something because the camera shows a flower and quite shows that it's meant to symbolize something important. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
is it meant to symbolize like leaving a funeral? I don't know, when someone dies, like leaving a flower at a funeral or a gravestone.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, but no.
Doesn't make it. That's the only thing I can think that would make sense, but it's still dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems like it just seems like they were trying to find some cool symbolism they could go with, but it just didn't work and was another dumb
one. They didn't know how to kind of incorporate said symbolism, and they just try to shoe on something in, and it's like, no, it's not how it works.
All right, you got anything else to say?
Not really. This film is terrible and dumb as hell. Probably a 4 out of 10, but I still love it.
Yeah, this film is just as I said, a giant facepalm of the movie that just makes you go, what the fuck is it trying to do? We're full of bizarre,
go into
idiotic
it expecting
moments.
all that, and you enjoy yourself. You have to take a break.
Yeah, but it's a film that I feel like with a few friends, with some drinks around it, you could watch it for a laugh and then have a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good movie to get drunk to.
Yeah, like this film is it's like that one over the top friend where it's like you can deal with that person for like an hour. And you know it's amazing. It's a blast, but you can't drive you insane.
Yeah, I get that.
And yeah, and just everyone has that one dumb friend. I mean, for you, it's me. For anything else to add?
No, just what I said. Dumb, bizarre, stupid movie. It's a fun time if you're drunk. I'd give it about 4 out of 10.
Alright, sweet.
Yeah. Thanks for joining again.